Eric, so that 200 had to have been probably one of the most exciting races that you've probably ever seen, like anybody in the building. Probably one of the most exciting swimmers you've ever coached. Tell us about kind of your emotions about that race.
You know, the sequence of his swims has been impressive, and I know people. I don't think people believe me when I said he's not really comfortable sprinting yet. It's not natural for him, and he's more. He didn't come in as a 200 breaststroker, but he's built more for the 200, quite honestly, and he will become a better sprinter. He just can't get into his body line and produce that power. He's not quite patient enough, I guess. But from what I've been seeing in training, honestly, we came back. He had a great nationals in December. He went 150.9. And then that next week, he got better as we went to Istanbul. We swam well in Istanbul, but when we got back from Istanbul, he improved in the end of December, January, February, more than I've seen him improve since he's been in the program.
Just in terms of like his splits and
yeah, just in terms of swimming speed.
And is he the type of swimmer who, when he's at a meet, you kind of just step out of the way, or are you pretty much guiding him through pretty much the whole process?
Sometimes he paces, sometimes he doesn't. I watch him warm up, and if I have any concerns, I'll talk to him about it. And we coach with the philosophy it's never too late to make adjustments, and he can make adjustments. But you know, there were a couple things. Did a dive 25 and he was 10.6, and I said that's a good sign. And then I watched him warming up, and he didn't really know I was watching him, and he was doing some 3-stroke 25s at 12.0, and I was like, I'll just stay out of his way now because it's all there. So
I know you talk a lot about stroke count. Is it, when you sit down with him, is it we're going to keep this 200 breaststroke under 35 strokes?
Yes. I mean, it's all by 25. We go 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, and that's it right now. And it may evolve, and if it does, great. But right now, with his strength, the way it is, and it's getting better and better, and I still believe he's really young to this, and I think he's got a lot left.
Is there a ceiling to how fast he can go?
Did anybody ever think they'd see 148 in 200 breast, you know? And it's like, you know, nobody's been 148, nobody's been 149, nobody's been 150 in a jammer, let alone their bodies. So I think he's redefining this stroke more than I've ever seen anybody redefine, and that's kind of exciting.
So Arizona's gone 1-2 in both breaststroke events this weekend. Just talk a little. Obviously things are meshing in the pool, but you have got to witness some level of rapport among your breaststrokers outside of the pool. Just talk about a little the culture.
Call it breaststroke by committee. You know, we have. I mean, at one point we had 8 national team members, breaststrokers alone in our program, and they work really well together. And I give Clark Burkle. Clark Burkle's the first guy I texted, and he said 148 really, and he gets a lot of credit for that. You know, when Kevin went 150 point in Texas, Clark got second to him, and there was nobody more proud than Clark because they all invest in one another. And I guarantee there's nobody else happier for Kevin than Carl Mickelson right now. And you know, Clark worked with his underwater pullout. I work with body line. We just, it doesn't matter who helps. It's kind of by committee, breaststroke by committee, you know, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of ideas exchanged, and I don't know. It's a really healthy training environment, and I contribute, but I learn at the same time.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you, is what have you learned by watching Kevin and everybody else in the breaststroke group kind of grow in these past 2 years?
Well, they all swim differently. They're all very different. You know, Marcus Titus was different than Clark, was different than Carl, is different than Kevin. And then you got Ellen Baumgartner, who's on the national team, and she's different too. So I just break down each of the kids' movements and try to enhance their strengths. And we do 2 things. We try to increase propulsion and decrease resistance, and we keep it simple. And we do drills to sequence both of those, and they get it, and we figure out what works for each kid and go from there.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.